everybody, it's Miss Lynn again from Mill Creek MetroParks for part 2 of our last Nature Walks video for 2020. We are here on East Newport Drive for the first time, and we are at the East Newport boat launch. Check it out, it's brand new. We had the dock replaced with floating plastic docks. It's a non-slip ramp, a double stainless steel railing, and a new observation deck with built-in benches. We also added some new metal kayak racks as well. And there is a comfort station here. Isn't this glorious? Now, if you have your own kayak, you can rent a storage space and leave your kayak here all year long and then come out and enjoy Lake Newport. Hopefully next year in 2021, we'll be able to offer some kayak trips, guided kayak trips with our naturalist educators. So something to look forward to. But again, look around the lake. You can see clear down to the Lake Newport boathouse. You can see clear across to West Newport Drive. You can catch cars going by here and there. We even have a kayaker out on the lake right now. I don't know if we'll catch him in our video, but hopefully so. But this is a beautiful, beautiful spot. Now the Lake Newport boathouse from 1954 to 1998, it wasn't located down here. It was located down at the south end of Lake Newport, and it moved back to its present location in 1998. And right below that, you can just see a little bit. You can see the boat dock, and beyond that is the Lake Newport Dam. The Vindicator mentioned that in the 1930s, the dam was a favorite spot for motorists after dark. And searchlights played over the water and sometimes found bathers who disregarded park orders and had gone for a swim. Well, let's get back on the trolley. Let's say hi to Mr. Mike. Oh, you know, Dr. Jim, before we get going, I brought this for show and tell. Kind of interesting, isn't it? Kind of looks alien. Mother Nature's pretty cool. This is the fruit of a tree called an Osage orange. And it's said to chase away spiders. This is heavy. It's heavy. So if you get conked on the head by one of these when it's falling, you're going to know it for sure. Now, I have a picture of what the inside of the fruit looks like. Does have the seeds, and it actually has a white milky sap that comes out of it, and it's rather sticky. And nope, they're not edible. They're just kind of cool to look at and kind of cool to, hey, do you know what this is? So it's the fruit from an Osage orange tree. That's our show and tell for today. All right, let's get on the trolley. Say hi to Mr. Mike.
Morning. Glad you could join us.
No, there's a person behind us.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. Now over to the right-hand side, you'll notice some signs that say road closed and park facility closed. And unfortunately, this part of East Cohasset Drive has been closed because of a slope failure. And for the safety of all park patrons, access and through this construction site has been prohibited. This section of the road is going to remain temporarily closed while planning and construction of this extensive roadway repair project is completed. onto a city street. This is Hiawatha. So once again, it's very evident that we are a park in the middle of an urban setting. We're right here in the middle of the city. Well, Mr. Mike, if you'll take her easy as we go around these little curves, we want to be able to enjoy this scenery. Now the Lake Newport Dam is down there. Might be able to catch a glimpse of it. A little bit. So we're riding along the top of the West Gorge ravine. Without the leaves on the trees, or most of them down, we're going to be able to see a little bit more of the creek, of the gorge, and the large rock outcropping. Stop here. Go all the way over. Go up just a little bit. Okay, stop right there. So the sun is shining. I know Dr. Jim's going to try his best to let you see back to the Lake Newport Dam. Look at how the sun just reflects off the water. Yeah, this is safe. And then now, Dr. Jim, get a picture of this here. You can see the creek going north. You can see the little patches of white water. You can start to see some of the rock outcroppings. And if you look real close, you're going to catch another one of those saddle bridges. Geological history, bordered by the stream on one side and the massive walls of sandstone on the other. Now you'll be able to catch a glimpse of the covered bridge. Sometimes you can hardly see the covered bridge, Dr. Jim, because all the leaves are there and it kind of hides it, but you can get a good glimpse of the covered bridge. Now this is a replica of the bridge from the 1880s, and farmers used the bridge to bring their grain to the mill to be ground. And this new bridge was actually constructed in 1989. Now this West Gorge Trail all by itself is 1.2 miles. It is moderately difficult with some hills, but the sandstone cropping really was views that inspired Goldman Rogers to establish Mill Creek Park. And here we are looking over Lanternman's Mill, and you'll see the upper falls before you get to Lanternman's Falls. Now this mill is the third mill with the curved wooden structure built on the site by German Lanternman and his brother-in-law Samuel Kimberly in 1845-46. The park bought the mill in 1892 and initiated repairs to preserve this iconic structure. Dances were held here with a concession stand. It was used as a bathhouse until 1917, and it was used to store and repair the park's rental boats. It was the park's nature museum from 1933 until 1976. Was restored to operating order in 1982. It really is a community treasure that represents one of our pioneer industries that was developed along Mill Creek. And hopefully next year it will be operating as it did back in the 1800s, grinding corn, wheat, and buckwheat. It is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Now, Dr. Jim, I have a few pictures of the Gorge trail hikes and such. So this is one on the East Gorge. Does that look pretty good? And you can see the boardwalks. The East Gorge Trail, which is across from us here on the other side of Lanternman's Falls, does have a lot of steps, and it does have some boardwalk. It does have the large rock outcroppings. That's where you're going to see a beautiful view of Lanternman's Falls, and there's also the large umbrella rock that's there. Let's see, turn this over. Here's a picture of some of the boardwalk that's on the East Gorge Trail. Okay, all right, Mr. Mike, let's go ahead and head up here and turn left and then make a right. We're going to turn left here onto Route 62. This bridge has been undergoing some renovation. Hopefully they're about done with that. But the original bridge was built back in 1883. And at that time it was very, very narrow. And in fact, it was very tricky for two vehicles or wagons to pass at the same time. $1 million view of Lanternman's Falls. are at the most iconic vista of all in Mill Creek MetroParks, the view of Lanternman's Falls. Looking at the falls, I think we all get a better understanding of how Goldie Rogers was so moved that he created Mill Creek Park to share his discovery and preserve it for all future wanderers. He devoted 30 years of his life to improving and the protection of the park. The falls, the stately hemlocks, the winding streams, and the shady nooks are all a very fitting monument to this wonderful man. So this is our final Nature Rocks video for 2020. And on behalf of Dr. Jim, our awesome camera guy, Mr. Mike, our awesome trolley driver, and myself, Miss Lynn, we want to thank you for being a part of Nature Rocks. We want to thank you for sharing our adventures through the park and hopefully learning a little bit more about the park as we have wandered. We also want to thank our other Mill Creek MetroParks staff members who so graciously shared their time and their knowledge with us, and the ones that were behind the scenes that helped us do some fact checking and keep our information straight. So we thank you for loving Mill Creek MetroParks like we do. So as the park prepares for the changing season, we are concluding our Nature Rocks for this year. Please come and visit the park, since every season has something to offer. We will look forward to its awakening in the spring, with all the colors returning for us to enjoy. We wish you well, and we look forward to seeing you in the park. We hope that you all stay healthy and stay safe, and that we'll see you next year. Bye, everybody. Thank you.